Mr. Secretary, we applaud the National Export Initiative and the renewed attention the President and you have placed on stimulating U.S. job growth and helping small and medium-sized businesses increase exports. We also appreciate your visit to Atlanta in recognition of the important role that public-private collaboration plays in increasing the export potential of American businesses. All of us at UPS stand ready to build on the foundation we've established with your department and with other branches of the government. Each day, UPS realizes the untapped potential that international markets hold for U.S. businesses. We're on the front lines of global commerce as we provide daily service to nearly 8 million customers in more than 220 countries and territories worldwide. Our sales force encounters potential exporters every single day. Your commercial service officers can help these exporters find customers. And when they do, we can ensure that their goods navigate complex customs procedures and arrive efficiently at their destinations. It's often challenging for small and medium-sized businesses to connect with potential customers. In UPS's experience, the primary barriers to international commerce for smaller businesses are access to capital, complex custom processes, and finding those global market opportunities. Through our investment in technology and shipping tools, such as paperless invoicing, UPS has taken much of the pain out of international shipping. We've made it simpler for all businesses to engage in the global flow of commerce, but we can't do it alone. The best way to achieve the challenge of doubling exports is for the government and the private sector to work in partnership. Since 2007, UPS has worked with the commercial service to pool resources and experience and lend our transportation expertise to help our customers effectively access international markets. UPS has counseled more than 18,000 customers regarding the commercial services offerings. UPS and the commercial service have convened more than 70 export-related customer seminars. The commercial service has trade specialists in 107 U.S. cities in more than 80 countries that serve to work tirelessly to make access to global markets possible for American businesses. UPS recognizes the opportunities those specialists provide to our customers, and we strive to connect our customers with those resources. In the coming weeks, UPS will identify small and medium-sized companies that currently export to one country and collaborate with the Department of Commerce to identify additional markets. We will ensure that these customers are supported by the U.S. commercial service officers. To achieve this, we intend to analyze the current markets to which these companies export and suggest new markets based on factors including industry, geography, currency, and market access as a result of free trade agreements. For example, if a company is currently exporting to Mexico, an FTA partner, that company might consider selling their goods to, say, Chile or Costa Rica, two other FTA partners. UPS has seen that our export volumes have experienced a double-digit volume growth to countries with which the U.S. has negotiated free trade agreements. An increase in examples such as this, coupled with the efforts of private industry and the active support of the Obama administration, will help America reach its goal of doubling exports in 5 years. We firmly believe that increasing exports will help to grow the U.S. economy and put more Americans to work. UPS knows this firsthand. We estimate that every 22 packages that cross the border support one job in UPS package operations. Mr. Secretary, thanks so much for visiting UPS today, and thank you for your commitment to jobs, exports, and the U.S. economy. And now let me introduce you to Gary Locke, the 36th Secretary of Commerce. As the first Chinese American to hold this post, Secretary Locke has a distinctly American story. His grandfather immigrated from China to the state of Washington, where the Secretary grew up and later became a two-term governor. As governor of the nation's most trade-dependent state, he broke down trade barriers around the world to advance American products. Just prior to his current appointment, the Secretary helped U.S. companies enter the international markets as a partner in a Seattle-based law firm. With that background, he is ideally suited for the job as Secretary of Commerce and the task we're talking about today, finding new export markets for UPS customers and American business. I'm proud to introduce Secretary Gary Locke.
Well, thank you, Scott, for the introduction. It's really a pleasure to be here at UPS. And as Bob Snyder was mentioning earlier, I come from not the Washington, D.C. really, but the state of Washington, which is really the home of UPS, where UPS was founded over 100 years ago. And there's still a lot of remnants of UPS in Seattle, Washington, with the headquarters of the Casey Family Foundation and also a waterfall park that I used to always have lunch at when I was a deputy prosecutor. And there's a waterfall park that marks the spot, donated and constructed by UPS, that marks the spot of the first UPS facility founded in Seattle. And of course, Atlanta has now UPS, your headquarters, and this great facility. Atlanta also has the subway system that was supposed to be in Seattle. And so we're a little bit envious. You know, so much of what started or was supposed to be in Seattle ended up here in Georgia. But this is an incredible facility that we're in, and I understand that just a few hours ago it was just humming with hundreds and hundreds of trucks and hundreds of UPS employees, and right around noon there'll be another cycle of activity, and of course a lot will be happening tonight. But I can just imagine all these packages, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of packages whizzing along the conveyor belt, the trucks coming in and out, and we can picture it. But it really is a symbol of American businesses or American business at its finest. And it really provides hope that despite the economic challenges that America faces, we're going to get through it. We're going to get through it. And just like we have always risen to past challenges. There's still no other country in the world with so many private companies this innovative and this vibrant. So it's gratifying to bring the resources of the Department of Commerce to bear in partnering with companies like UPS, all with the goal of creating even more jobs for Americans by helping U.S. companies export more of made in America products and services. As Scott said in his remarks, UPS has a long-standing partnership with the Department of Commerce's Foreign and Commercial Service. Together, we've helped thousands of American companies expand their share in existing markets and also break into new ones. And our cooperation stands out as a premier example of public-private partnerships done right. And today, we mark a strengthening of that partnership. Scott mentioned that in the coming weeks, UPS is going to help the Commerce Department identify small and medium-sized businesses that currently export to only one country. And we're going to together suggest new market opportunities for them. Now, some of you might be wondering why we've chosen to focus our efforts on this particular subset of companies. And the simple answer is that that's where we can have the most impact. These are companies that now export, that understand some of the rules and the requirements of exporting and what it means to do business in another country. So we ought to take those companies that have that familiarity with exporting and help them export to even more countries. Today, less than 1% of America's 30 million companies export. That's a percentage significantly lower than all the other developed countries in the world. And of the U.S. companies that do export, 58% export to only one country. So if they know how to export to one country, we need to help them export to 2 or 3.